was 16.
Child labor laws.
Drop Penn and Kim off at the mall and let the elements take them.
Amazing Race perimenopause edition.
And then at the end of the challenge, your child leaves you forever.
Yeah, we get older every day. Got more wrinkles, that's okay. Yeah, we're laughing when we age. Life is like a comedy stage. And that's why we got laugh lines.
Hey everyone, I'm Kim Holderness.
And I'm Penn Holderness. Welcome to Laugh Lines. If you recognize this voice, you're in the right place.
Now, we're up to our long-distance dedication. And this one is about kids and pets and a situation that we can all understand.
Yeah?
Casey Kasem!
There you go. He was ours.
He was the best of us.
In his long-distance dedications, I would either get teary-eyed or he would get teary-eyed.
The way I thought he was just in our town because he would be on. And so I remember going.
I think I saw Casey Kasem at the supermarket.
No. I heard him on our radio station, like Q105. And then I moved to another town and he was there. I was like, wait a second. Casey Kasem's everywhere.
Every Sunday on the classic rock channel in Raleigh, they replay one of the top 40s from a random year. So they'll be like, today we're going to play September 10th, 1985's top 40. And then it's just an actual play. So anything he said back then.
Yeah. Okay. Good one, Penn. We have a super fun episode for you today. We had asked in a previous episode about your weird summer jobs and specifically what you learned from those summer jobs. We got an alarming amount of responses, like, where were the child labor laws? Like, we got a lot of responses, a lot of them very hilarious, a lot of them bodily fluids. Yeah, like, where were the labor laws is all I have to say. Super fun episode. And in the worst transition ever, we have some housekeeping for you.
A children's book. Great segue to our children's book, Kim.
That wins for
it
segue.
Does. Yeah.
It's called Get It Done and Have Fun, ADHD Hacks for Awesome Kids.
We're super proud of it. We think it's going to hopefully change the way that kids with ADHD look at getting things done. Chores, which to me as a kid, I could not stand. Now that I know how my brain works and I know that there's ways to have fun with it, I wish I could go back to being a kid so I could be nicer to my parents and do some of the things they asked me to do.
Visit getitdoneandhavefun.com to find information on our tour. We might be coming to a town near you, or how to order a book or pre-signed book. So we're super proud of this one. And we have a lot of exciting news on the book front. I'll just say stay tuned. Yeah. Stay tuned.
And speaking of bodily fluids, Kim's got a life update. I mean, you started it.
So I was just saying for a little check-in because Lola and I are back. We got back late last night. We went to Puerto Rico, first time in San Juan.
Which stands for?
Rich Port.
And the reason why it was such a rich port, she learned so much about Puerto Rico.
Well, I like to know.
She hit me with this as soon as I picked her up from the airport. No, I love it. So,
when I go somewhere, I will say, here's the thing. I don't do a great job I'm not a planner.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't get into the planning part. So it was Lola, one of her best friends from high school, and the best friend's mom. The mom works full time, has 3 kids, but yet still found time to plan everything and make reservations everywhere. 10 out of 10, nice. Travel with somebody who does that sort of thing. But that meant when we landed, I was going to learn as much as I could while I was there. Mm-hmm. There's the trade winds, when you took up a boat from Europe, it would just land in Puerto Rico, and Spain was this is ours, and they totally colonized. And anyway,
because you would want to be the place where the wind would always blow you.
Right. And you have supplies and stuff like that. Anyway, learned so much about Puerto Rico. We had the best time. Everybody in Puerto Rico is so nice. And coming from the US, you do not need a passport. Everyone was so proud of their island, and they wanted us to try their favorite restaurant, go to their favorite nightclub. It was interesting though. So Lola and her friend, obviously I'm the mom, so I think very highly of my own daughter, right? So I think they look like supermodels, basically. My daughter's 5'10". She wears little wedges. She's over 6 feet tall. Striking. I was wearing my Rothy's, my flats, and a crossbody bag everywhere we went. It was like I was a safety patrol officer. I was like in the Power Rangers, like trying to keep weird, like touristy guys from like hitting on my daughter. But I have never felt more invisible in my life, proudly. But I felt like a crossbody bag with legs. Like nobody even knew that the other mom and I were there.
I have a very hard time believing that you would be invisible in any room. But
it is interesting. At the age of 50, you are not the person, like heads don't turn when you walk in a room. And I think in my 20s, I could walk into a bar and know that like I was young and people like I dressed to get attention, right? Like I loved a low-rise jean and a little midriff top. Like, and it is interesting. I'm at peace with it. I can wear comfortable clothing now, but it is interesting to be the person to like, they're not looking at me anymore.
Yes, they are. But yes, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, but I think as is probably a conversation for a menopause podcast, but it is interesting to like not be, everybody's laughing at me. Why are you laughing?
Because this is going to be the part where the comments are like, Kim, you still got it.
No, I mean, I know I still got it. Like, I know I look good. I think that this is probably a very niche understanding, but for women who are aging to go through that transition of, wow. And also like anyway.
If you guys have watched Barbie, there's this bit where Greta Gerwig got Helen Mirren to say, she was the narrator. She was like, note from the director, having Margot Robbie talk about being unattractive is very difficult in this film. Do you guys remember that from the movie? That's what's happening right now. And it's okay. You're just very pretty. So it's like you tried, but you're very pretty. But you went jet snorkeling.
We went jet snorkeling.
Yeah.
And it felt very Gen X. We did have to sign a liability waiver. But listen, you get into the water. They hand you a jetpack. You're holding on with your two hands. And they're like, hey, there's these two buttons. So my brain, I hit the two buttons. Yeah. Like, don't hit the buttons yet. And I'm like, oh.
Wait, can you tell me more about what this thing looks like? It's a handheld device.
It's a handheld device.
And that is what propels you?
Yes. And they hand it to us. They say there's two buttons. Don't push them.
Okay.
After giving you time to push them. And then immediately he goes, also, we have had people with their fingers cut off. Don't put your finger into the jet. If your hair is not tied back, your hair will and then also Lola was wearing like a literal string bikini. It had like the strings. And he's like, yeah, that'll fly out. Like just saying that like it would get caught up in the jet. And then he's like, okay, you guys ready? And it felt so Gen X because did liability waivers exist back then? Like we always knew that we were maybe gonna die, you know? And it would just the chance you took.
I think that there were liability waivers, but I don't think they're quite as ironclad back in the day because I don't think people sued as much as they used to.
We had lawn darts.
Yeah.
Like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Those killed people.
Truly.
You were like, this is amazing. Okay. Lawn darts, for those of you who don't know, are darts whose front weighs 800,000 times more than the back and has a sharp spear. So it's really fun to throw them as high as you can into the air because they're going to come down and always stick into the ground because of the weight distribution. So really, like you're supposed to play this game where you try to land it into a target. No one cared about the target. We just wanted to throw it as high in the air as possible and have it land. So some people did that and got mortally injured. And so they don't exist anymore.
Yeah. Anyway, had a jetpack snorkeling, and to no one's surprise, it was a little hard to, it was so distracting. They handed it to you, then they were telling you the instructions, but you're like a 12-year-old kid. You have a toy, you want to play with it. So I don't think I was really absorbing the instructions. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to kind of like have your hands bent. I had them out.
That's what I would think.
I had them out and it looked, it was.
Can I ask some physical questions? Yeah. It's a jet, right? Which means that in order to propel.
It's like a baby boat propeller.
Okay, but then something's got to be coming out of the back.
Bubbles.
So if you're holding it in front of your face, aren't you just getting blasted by bubbles?
Which is why you are supposed to bend your arms. Okay, Anne-Marie has information.
I don't know if these are the same, but they appear to be on the sides. The jets
Yes,
are
they're
on
the
either side of
sides.
you.
Yeah, they're on the side.
They're going by your
So the bubbles
by
shoot
your head.
this way by.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so there's
love that.
two, and it was super. We had a fun time. It was very crowded. There were people who did better with the jets than others. There was a woman who kept slamming into me.
Great.
So anyway, but it was a fun story to tell.
Okay, and you got to spend some time with your daughter.
Yeah.
In a not a foreign country, in a U.S. territory.
In a U.S. territory.
There
No,
you
it
go.
was beautiful. 10 out of 10. People should go to Puerto Rico.
Sweet.
And Bad Bunny pictures are everywhere, so I was super into it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Kim, would you say that being a jet-propelled snorkeler is a weird job?
I am fascinated by that guy. I asked him a million questions. Not going to say weird. I'm going to say he probably has seen some things. He's seen fingers get cut off.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it just goes to show, like, there are a lot of interesting jobs out there, right?
Absolutely.
And so that's what today is about. Today is about weird jobs, and more importantly, how those weird jobs shaped our careers and could shape everyone's careers. So for those of you who are kind of starting out in the workplace, wondering like how it's hard to get a job, every job, no matter how weird, can make a big difference in where your life is headed.
I do want to start by saying we have a 16-year-old and a 19-year-old, and there was some data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics that basically saying the number of jobs secured by teens fell 25% last summer from the year prior, and there are fewer jobs for teens this year. There was one of the big morning shows, one of the network morning shows. The hosts read that statistic, and they were like, oh, kids just need to like go roll up their sleeves. And I was screaming at the TV because I'm like, where do you want them to roll these sleeves? Like they're already up. Our kids had the toughest time finding jobs this summer.
Yeah.
And I would say they're great kids. They have good grades. They have some work experience, but they're 16 and 19. Like how much job experience you can have. I think Lola applied to something like 25 jobs. And she would get instant, like everything is done through AI or a website now. And they just immediately like reject you. So you have to like kind of go in, play. It was just hard. So the jobs we got very easily as kids they're not available. Like there's a lot of college graduates that are taking these jobs.
And it's because of the experience paradox.
Right.
Right. So the experience paradox, kind of three things, right? Entry-level roles. What does that mean? That's
you have no experience.
First job. Entry-level roles are now always asking for work history. Why are entry-level roles asking for work history?
That's like when Lola went for her first driving driving lesson that you have to do required by the state of North Carolina. She asked about
how much driving she'd done.
I'm like, she's 15. She's done none. She's like, oh, I don't know. Some people come in with driving experience.
Not legal.
I was like, I said no. Anyway.
So think about if you have kids right now who are trying to get into college, think about how much more difficult college applications have become and just translate that into the workplace. There's a lot more applications out for a lot fewer jobs. And three, and this is interesting, because of how many applications there are, right? Companies aren't really spending a lot of time with training. Right? Training is expensive. It's time consuming. So if they can find somebody, no matter how old they are, compared to someone who's just walking in, who has the experience, they don't have to pay for the training. So like those three things are making it super hard for people to get a first job. So I do want to talk about how to beat the experience paradox, right?
Oh, okay. Tell me.
And a lot of that is going to be in finding like a weird job maybe, right? So like build proof of work no matter what. You build, it could be, for our kids, it had to become unpaid work. Like they're taking internships, but that is proof that you were working and getting something done. And then like the big one is like leveraging alternative entry points. And you and I, if we look back at the things that we did, that we worked on and that we did before we got this job, those were all alternative entry points, right? Like what jobs did we do to get to where we are now that were weird?
Well, I mean, any day as a news reporter is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like news reporters is the weirdest
That's
job.
the weirdest job.
You wake up and if you don't have an idea, they like send you out to drive around looking for an idea.
Right.
You had to learn how to do like a million things that most colleges don't even teach you how to do. Edit, shoot, like all of this stuff.
My college taught me how to do it because I went to school for it, but you went to school for philosophy, so they don't teach you how to do that.
That's true. I didn't go to school. I didn't go to school for philosophy. It was the major that had the fewest classes that
I know you were always like, they don't teach this stuff. I'm like, they literally taught this stuff in my
well,
college.
They taught you how to do everything for
Yes.
news. That's amazing.
Yeah, no, that's why
But a lot of schools don't.
if you go to a school that has the major in which you're trying to get a job and they traditionally teach you like how to do the job.
There's some other stuff, right? Like you worked, I would say, in some ways in dance. Never thought that would be part of like what you do, but now like we've got videos of you dancing all over our website. I worked as a cell phone salesman for 6 months. You're probably watching this on a cell phone.
It's all coming back in.
I was a channel changer for a ribs restaurant.
How's that helping you?
Well, honestly, because at that time it was a sports bar. So I watched 5 different channels of sports for like 8 hours a day.
ADHDer's dream.
It was, yeah. But that was my first job. I was a sportscaster.
I think it's easy to sit here from like, we're in our attic with these lights and these microphones to be like, this is how you should do it. I also see from my kids' perspective, it's just hard. I also want to say that when we were getting jobs in the 90s and early 2000s, nobody, especially as teenagers, nobody was paying attention to us. Nobody was worried about training us. Like there were no waivers. Like they were just kind of like letting us figure it out. And that just doesn't happen anymore.
That's fair. I'm not trying to tell people how to do something. I'm just trying to explain that the path to the career that you will probably end up with is going to be an unexpected road almost every time. And it just goes through weird jobs, right? Like Anne-Marie, Sam
has the best weird job.
Yeah.
I've been so excited about this episode because I think I had one of the weirdest summer jobs. The summer between my sophomore and junior year of college, I was home. I just needed something to make a few bucks.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to note that I'm a lesbian. In case...
Okay.
It's important for the story.
I think for the story.
Okay.
Yes.
I want to share that with the audience in case they had no idea. Okay. And I was in my first relationship. It was all very exciting. And my mom's friend was like, oh my God, we need some help at my work. Can you come help? Well, she works at the local Catholic church.
Okay.
No problem.
No problem.
Well, basically I got there and what had happened was the previous financial advisor had stolen a bunch of money from the church and now the church was getting audited and they needed someone to look through all the financial documents and collate them, which was very quick.
Yeah.
But if you don't know, an audit is only like the last 7 years. So they were like, well, anything past 7 years, we can just get rid of. So I piled.
Is that like a statute of limitations or something like that? Or, okay.
If you get audited, they only look 7 years.
I got
so
you.
they're like, well, we don't need, they had documents going back to like 93.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's like piles and piles of paper. And I'm like, cool. Like, I think there's this truck that can come that will just shred it all. And they're like, yeah, we don't have the money for that. And they brought me 2 shredders, normal.
Just from
your
Staples
shredders. Yeah. And I spent weeks in the basement of a Catholic church shredding financial documents. And about halfway through this time, my first girlfriend broke up with me. So I also happened to be sobbing into these shredders.
Oh.
And sometimes they would like break down because,
Of the
shredders
tears?
are not supposed to be
because
going
of the tears.
from the tears and 8 hours of shredding.
Yeah.
And so the wonderful priest was like, everything good? And I'm like, yeah. And I had to lie, and I couldn't tell all these people like why I was just sad.
Oh,
I'm sure they
would have been great.
They would have been. But
great.
I also was like 19, and I wasn't like,
yeah.
So I just was like this hidden queer girl in the basement shredding financial documents, and I was like, this all feels very nefarious. And
so, what did you learn, Sam?
Well, I feel like I can pretty much take a stack of paper and tell you how much can like go in a shredder without it getting jammed.
That's good. That's good.
I also just think, let me think about this for a second.
Can I give you a compliment about how you work now that I think you may have learned there?
Okay.
You power through.
Yeah.
You power through when things are tough.
Yeah.
You power through in every situation. Like if you have a huge stack of edits on your plate, if we have a big long shoot day, maybe what you do is you look at this and you say, at least I'm not in the basement with the paper shredder. If I can get through that, I can get through anything.
That's so sweet, Penn. I will also say, like, no job is too small. And I realized at the end, I had done so much work, like physically you could see, like the files were clean. Like there was just such evidence of the work. And I really enjoyed that. Like, that's why I love doing stuff you can see. Like I have proof of what I did.
Yes.
I can show you this like list of videos. Like I made these.
Yeah.
And so like, I really value when I can see my work.
I love that.
And it made me grow as a person.
Absolutely.
I think.
Absolutely. And just like having to sit with your feelings. You just had to sit there and feel your feelings. I am very bad at that. I'm very bad at that. Anne-Marie, did you have any weird jobs?
I wouldn't say they were super weird. My first job was cold call sales for an accounting software
Wow.
that was touting they were using artificial intelligence. Really can't say the name. Don't want to get in trouble with anybody.
Do you remember the script? Like, isn't it like embedded in your brain after a while if you do it so many times?
Okay, here's what I learned a little bit about that. Because the script don't work.
Yeah.
So what I learned is like, you have to be yourself and you have to you have to roll with it. And funny enough, I did start taking improv classes during that time of my life because I was so depressed at my job. So I needed something fun to go do.
Aww.
But improv's so good in that kind of space, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But no, accountants need friends. Check on your accountants during tax time. You need to check on them. They're not okay. I'm telling you, I talked to a lot of people's dads. And they are not okay. So go check on them.
My brother in April, I always call, I like have a calendar reminder on April 15th to always call Dale and be like, hey buddy.
Dale. Yeah. We have so many fun voicemails and calls from you guys. Should we go to the laugh line?
We're going to go to the laugh line.
Laugh line. It's the part of the show where everyone will find. Laugh line. But you call us up and you tell us what's on your mind.
I want to say this again. I want to challenge us to do this. When we hear these calls, I want to think about what kind of great life skills these build, right?
Yeah.
Hey, this is Daryl from Canton, Ohio. I think I'm finally going to get on the Laugh Lines podcast. Not a summer job, but a part-time holiday job at Christmas time. I was 14 years old, DeSoto Square Mall in Palmetto, Florida. Well, technically Bradenton. I was the talking reindeer. I sat inside a little hut
She might have been
with
there.
a microphone and pushed the giant puppet head out through the door and interacted with the children and the families. And I don't know who thought putting a 14-year-old in charge of this was a good idea. This would have been the late 1980s. I remember a little boy came up and said that he wanted a toy tank. And I said he would need to talk to Casper Weinberger about that, who, of course, was the Secretary of the Defense at the time under the Reagan administration.
First of all, strong start. That is my mall. That is the mall I grew up going to, DeSoto Square Mall, which I think they've torn it down.
Of course.
But that was every Friday night of my life. I definitely remember their Christmas display. And kudos to you to knowing the Secretary of Defense at age 14. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. So here is my idea.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of knocking down our old malls,
Which always happens, like the ones from the 80s, right?
The malls that we spent every Friday night in, we should take those and convert them to Gen X retirement homes. So the food court, right, with Orange Julius.
Yes. We keep the same stuff, right? There's a Chick-fil-A. We keep it open on Sunday. Sorry, keep going.
No, I live in the Spencer's Gifts.
Yeah.
You can live in what was the Remember store? There was Things Remembered.
Or the Gold Mine Arcade or the Record Bar.
Any of those. And those are our apartments.
And we all sleep on the Montgomery Ward mattresses, like in their bed section or in Sears.
You can do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to live in Spencer's Gifts. And then we have our activities.
We just walk in a circle. Just walk.
And then we have a moment, like they call us on the payphone and then they tell us when it's time to eat. And that's going to be our retirement homes.
Listen, retirement homes are expensive. They're hard to find. They're difficult to build.
Yes.
We could make trillions of dollars with this idea.
Trillions.
Yes.
Investors?
Huh?
Call us.
I will say that I have seen some memory care units are making their retirement homes look like 1950s Main Street. So that they can just be in the mindset that they're in.
Right.
That is going to be us,
That's
babe.
you.
Just the mall.
They're
Just
going to be playing.
drop Penn and Kim off at the mall and let the elements take them.
They're going to be
Totally fine
playing
with that.
2 Live Crew.
Yep.
And
Everybody say, hey! No.
oh, me so hot.
This is a $250,000,000 idea.
We obviously have no finance backgrounds, but if you would like us as your spokespeople for your Gen X retirement home,
or we could buy them all. They're like $8.
I know. I do
think they're just sitting there.
Is DeSoto Square Mall? Can you look that up real quick, Sam?
The DeSoto Square Mall was an enclosed shopping center in Brandon, Florida, that opened on August 15th, 1973, and permanently closed on April 30th, 2021.
Of course,
it's currently slated for demolition.
Wait.
Mixed use redevelopment into multifamily housing.
It could just be our family.
Yeah.
You guys.
You're telling me you can't take like Belk and turn that into a bunch of little rooms?
It was Moss Brothers. And my grandmother worked at Moss Brothers in Fine China.
You would have everything you need except for the doctors.
No, we could bring the doctors in.
Yeah.
If you guys are looking for an investors to buy the DeSoto Square Mall, I can't give you a lot of money, but I can give you Instagram videos and my love and devotion.
We could go for some sort of like marketing equity deal with them. I like that.
Yeah. Okay.
We're here.
We're here.
We're going to turn all of the old malls into retirement homes for Gen Xers. And we're going to need those in like pretty soon.
We're going to need them pretty soon.
Yeah.
Okay. This next one was actually a comment on our Instagram account from our dear friend, Cynthia Demas, who was my roommate when I started dating Penn.
Yes.
So you dated both of us in the beginning.
That's right.
She said, I sang karaoke in the middle of Comp USA to sell karaoke for your home computer. When I had everyone's attention, I would pitch the software and sell. It was a company out of Canada called Tune 1000. It was 1995. It taught me how to sell, get their attention, and pitch. So this is the most Cynthia Demas job ever. And I felt like we needed to really hear what this sounded like in 1995. Should we call her?
Yeah, let's call Cynthia. I want to know more about this.
So Cynthia said we could call her, but she's stepping out of a meeting. So I'm very curious what the meeting is she's stepping out of.
Maybe she's still selling karaoke software? Let's find out.
Hello?
Hi, Cynthia.
You guys, I'm in the middle of a mahjong game, and I'm going to rudely step out.
Wait a minute. That was your meeting? That was your meeting. It was a mahjong game?
Yes, from 11 to 1. This is very serious. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Wait,
okay.
Listen, I had an appointment.
That's what you call it.
Well, no, I love it. You have an appointment, and I want to be respectful of that. So we'll go fast. So first of all,
okay, talk to me.
Okay, we're talking about weird jobs. Also, you and I were roommates when Penn and I started dating.
I know all the dirt.
Yeah. So what was your first impression of Penn when I brought Penn home?
He was tall and dreamy.
That's very sweet of you.
And a better version than previous boyfriends.
And can I tell you also I guess you guys already know this story because you're married, but I'll tell your listeners that when Penn was going to propose to Kim, he told me he had the ring. And I'm like, what? Where is it? And he goes, it's in the car. I said, in the car? Don't leave the ring in the car. Well, where should I put it? And I'm like, hide it in my bathroom. So then we hid it in my bathroom.
I actually didn't know that it was hidden in your bathroom.
I remember. There was a series of wonderful women who helped me not lose that ring. Cynthia was the first one, and then Valerie, my producer on Designer Finals, because I had to fly to Dallas, then to New York. So we put it in her safe deposit box because I just famously lose things. So, but Cynthia,
maybe you should have just given it to her faster, or you were waiting to propose in New York, right?
Yeah. That was the plan. That was it.
Well, hey, it worked. So it worked.
It worked
That's
out.
true. So, Cynthia, we just read your Instagram comment about how you sang karaoke in the middle of like a cubicle area to try to sell karaoke software. Am I getting that right?
It was a Comp USA. Remember the computer store?
Yes.
Like a big box, like a BrandSmart type of thing?
Oh, in the store. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, in the middle of the store. So I worked for this company out of Canada, and it was the holidays. So I was to sing holiday songs in the middle of the computer store. And then once I had everyone's attention, I was to sell them the software for their home computer so they could have karaoke on their computer at home. Now, this was, 1993, so you couldn't just pull it up on your phone then. So I would sing Christmas songs in the middle of the store. And you know what, you guys? This is my favorite job I ever had.
Okay.
Because of the karaoke.
Do you have what I really want to hear, Cynthia, is you maybe just give us a little bit of a Christmas song and then how you transitioned into the sales pitch.
Yes.
I feel like that.
Well, what I do is, so I'd be by myself and then I'd be like, oh, the weather outside is frightful. Hey, how you doing? But the fire is so delightful. Come on over here. Go. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. And people didn't know if I was just some crazy person in the middle of the store, but they were in the spirit. They would gather around. People were swaying. It was very friendly. And then as soon as they were singing, I would cut it off and I'd say, isn't it great to be able to sing holiday songs around your home computer? Well, today's your lucky day because you can buy this software. And they would buy it. They bought it. And they would play it, and I loved it. I loved it.
So,
Cynthia Demas, by the way, I love living with Penn, but I really miss living with you because this was 24 hours a day.
24 hours a day. I mean, you just turned in one singing roommate for another singing roommate, so really nothing's changed, Tim.
I truly.
I know the answer to this, but I want to ask you this. How did that prepare you for your job? So you spent decades as a news anchor and now you run a video content company. But tell us how that kind of, because we're our big theme today is how these weird jobs have helped shape our careers.
Well, I think for what I do and what we've always done with our whole careers, it's all about just kind of putting yourself out there and just making it work, right?
Yeah.
So putting yourself out there, and then you can't ever really embarrass yourself once you've done it all. So the more, right? So you're out there, I'm like, I'm going to sing in the middle of a computer store. And then where do you go from there?
Well, I think we have to have more Cynthia Demas on the podcast. I absolutely traded. I absolutely traded. I literally went from Cynthia's house to your house. So I traded one singing roommate for the other. I love you so much. Go back to Mahjong.
Love you guys. Okay, I'll talk to you anytime. Bye.
She's pulling a lawnmower and vroom,
and then it goes. Okay, back to the laugh line. More voicemails.
Hey, this is Taylene, and when I was in college, I worked at a call center, and we're talking around 1998 when the Wow chips were all the rage that had this special ingredient called Olean in it, and it was supposed to help you lose weight. And my job was to listen to the hotline when people would call in to give their feedback about the Wow chips. I had the privilege of typing up everything that the person who called in said about the Wow chips. The literal side effect of this Olean ingredient, which was all over the news at the time, where unfortunately eating these chips caused severe intestinal discomfort.
Diarrhea.
And I don't know how graphic you want me to be, but some of the comments that we got about their explosive diarrhea was a bit on the extreme side.
Well, first of all, good on Wow for tracking the adverse effects. But that is that was old school cyclospora.
Yeah.
Right? Now it's lettuce. See, now it's lettuce giving us that stuff, guys. Yeah. I think there's a reason why we don't have Wow chips on the shelves right now.
That's right. That's right. But also there's a reason why Celine is probably successful in some part of her life because she got through that. Mm-hmm. Don't you think?
Yeah. She's probably heard everything.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Massachusetts. So when I was 15 and really stupid, I got a job working at an outdoor drive-in. And you think, oh, what's wrong with that? Well, it was porn movies. Yeah. First time seeing Chesty Morgan in Deadly Weapons. That was great. Oh,
sorry, Chesty Morgan?
The concessions was just amazing, let me tell you. Super creeped out, and I'm not even sure it paid well. I think I only lasted there a week. Realized, really, I want to make better life choices, even when I was 15. I love you both. Thanks for everything you do. You crack me up all the time.
Oh, my God. I don't even think it paid well.
No. I don't think they pay me at all. They were filming me, actually.
It got weird.
I feel like
they asked me to take my shoes off. Okay, next.
Hi, Hi, I'm Kay. I grew up in Pennsylvania, and my weirdest summer job was for 2 summers, actually, when I was 14 and 16. I detasseled corn. That is the castration, essentially, but of the female corn plants. That was quite strange. What I learned from it was to stay hydrated, especially in a cornfield, and wash your feet every single day because you might get warts. Thanks for your podcast.
I have some follow-up questions.
By
You
the
can
way-
castrate a female corn plant? Does that just mean...
I think you just pop the end off, right? And so, by the way, looking through the comments, so many of you detasseled corn in the Midwest. So I think this was a very popular Midwestern job. Thank you for your service. I love corn.
Hi, my name is Rebecca. I'm calling from Florida. So I worked at a place called Blackberry Historical Farm. It's like a family fun place. And my job was to work in the barn when I was 14 years old. So there were cows and sheep and goats, and my job was to scoop up all of the poop first thing in the morning. First with a shovel, then with a hose. I also had to get horses ready for little pony rides, so I had to get all the poop off of their hooves as well. I don't think my $4.25 minimum wage was quite the fair price for that. But I loved it. I got a great tan. I came home smelling disgusting, but it was all worth it.
All about the tan, right?
It's all about the tan.
I will say that is not the only person who said, it was rough, but I got a tan.
Truly. That's why Lola ran track.
Pretty sure, just to be fair, not only were we getting tans back then, we were putting like oil on our bodies to like accelerate the tan, which is kind of the opposite of what we should have been doing.
So to her point, there were a lot of emails of people scooping, a lot of scooping of animal. These are IG comments. This is Pamela. I worked for a market research firm that was hired by 7-Eleven to keep track of what people buy alongside of a big gulp size soda. So I sat there and kept records of what people were buying. Spoiler alert, this was the late 80s. Almost everything, it was almost always cigarettes. It paid $15 an hour.
Okay. She made $15 an hour in the 80s writing down what people bought.
And then our
Amazing.
other friend made $4 scooping poop.
Yeah.
That was, or.
And then the porn lady, I don't think they even paid her. This is a good get, Pamela.
Yes.
Badge Girl 1, I worked in a party supply store that also did singing telegrams. One option was the stripping gorilla. I wore a gorilla costume with tearaway clothes. To stripper music, I stripped down to the gorilla suit and a thong. I was 16.
Child labor laws.
This
is what I'm saying.
That last sentence was a dagger. She was 16.
This is what I'm saying. We could get entry-level jobs because they were not watching. They were not watching. Nobody was being reported. It was so unsafe. Anyway, glad you're okay.
It said she was 16. It was the 90s.
It was the 90s.
That's what she said.
Okay, this is Chuck. Chuck sent us a DM. Craziest summer job for me was the summer I worked in a junkyard after my freshman year of college. I spent the summer either picking rags out of scrap metal on a conveyor belt, pulling radiators and gas tanks out of cars so they could be crushed. And my favorite job was to clean the mud out of the truck scale.
Okay.
To clean the scale, I had to drop down into a manhole under the scale and sit on a bucket, scoop the mud into a bucket, and one of the other workers would pull the mud up. The area between the ground and the top of the scale was around 3 feet. Periodically, they would yell, truck, and I would sit there while an 18-wheeler would pull into the scale to be weighed. Needless to say, common sense safety was not being practiced, and I had a lot of trust in that scale. So
I was 8. No, he was. I think he was.
That's what I'm saying. Like you would a human being would never do that now.
No,
that is crazy.
Samantha Davis. I was an activities intern at a juvenile detention facility in college, 1999 and 2000. Imagine hosting 80s week with a bunch of girls who want or may not want to kill you.
So, by the way, I think this is such an important job in a juvenile detention facility. These are still humans. They still have a way they're going to rehab their life. It's going to be great. They need social things. I would feel very intimidated that they didn't think I was like cool. And I would be, that this would be a very hard job.
Do you think you would like show up and like have like a pack of cigarettes in
I'd
your
be
sleeve
like, hey,
or something?
ladies,
Or,
hey, you want to be my friend?
You guys want to do some crime? No, I
would just be so worried they wouldn't like me.
No, Also, I'm glad they have an activities director.
I'm glad they have an activities director. This is Lindsay Terrell. My second job in high school just before I left for college was working in a mouse obesity lab in St. Louis, Missouri. Scientists in the lab were studying what made mice fat, diet genetics, obviously trying to learn about the human obesity. My specific job was to dissect these mice every day. Fat mice, skinny mice, all got dissected. I'd take out their organs, weigh them, weigh the fat. I couldn't eat yogurt for a year. Ew, I don't think we can put that in the show.
The last sentence, though, of this, she said the summer before she worked for Abercrombie. So, different. Let's go, Andy Mitchell. Worked for a label printing company. Before the job, never thought much about the stickers that go on stuff like milk cartons and produce. Same. To save money, they purchased a machine called a core cutter. They hired me to be the core cutter operator. My job was to take a 6 and 10 foot long heavy duty tube of cardboard, like what's in the middle of paper towels, and then pop them onto the core cutter to cut them into the right size for each different label. Occasionally, the extremely sharp, round, rolling industrial cutter, like a pizza cutter on steroids, wouldn't make a clean cut. So when it didn't make a clean cut, Andy's job was to hit a big red stop button before reaching into the pizza cutter mechanism to remove the 99% cut cardboard tube. Should be easy, but the temptation to reach in before hitting the red button to pull off the cardboard core, and there was a sign next to the cardboard cutter. And this is kind of the punchline. If you look on our YouTube page, you'll see it, but I'll describe it if you're just listening. It says rotating cutter hazard, and it's a picture of a rotating cutter and a person with a severed hand, with like 2 fingers floating freely next to a severed hand. I stared at this picture of the core cutter chopping off a cartoon hand's fingers the entire summer. It gave me nightmares.
Thank you so much for submitting these hours of entertainment for all of us here. Okay, your assignment for future episode, laugh liners. Call us, email us, send us a DM. What is a thing you did as a kid or your family did that would be considered now, I don't know, maybe a little illegal?
Iffy?
Maybe a little unhinged, or basically would just be reported to a school counselor now.
Or that you think, I cannot believe this went down, and everyone just said, carry on.
For me, personally, kids drove their cars to my high school and they had gun racks on their car with actual guns.
I would ride on the runners of my dad's Suburban from our house to the church where he was the pastor, outside, just hanging onto the side of a car.
Yeah. What you got?
Yeah.
Let us know. Okay. We have what I would consider a non-traditional job now. We went on The Amazing Race, season 33. What's up? And people ask us all the time if we would ever go back on as contestants. I don't think I, at this point in my life, could ever go back on as a contestant just because the conditions it was very hard. But I would go back on as a producer. And I think about this all the time. So Penn, if we ever had the chance to have our job to be producers on The Amazing Race, what sort of challenge would you make? Because I think about this all the time.
Okay.
Because think about it. Bungee jump, I did it. If there's $1 million on the line, you're going to bungee jump. Okay. Eat maggots. We ate maggots. Everybody ate the maggots. I'm going to go out on a limb and say, yes, these are like weird things, but if there's $1 million on the line, you're going to do it. I think we should have teams try to do Amazing Race challenges, like really spry young contestants do a perimenopause challenge. You wake up at 3 a.m, startled. You haven't slept in days.
Okay. So sleep deprivation.
Mm-hmm. You're really sweaty.
Yep.
All the time. And that you have to wear like itchy, uncomfortable clothes.
This is reminding me of Hell Week, by the way, in my fraternity, but keep going.
Yeah. You can't see. Will make it really dark for their young eyes because there's like vision changes. So you're sleepless, you're hot, you can't see. And then maybe you have to like describe an object to your partner that your partner can't see, but you can't use the words. So there's like, you would have to, so the trouble with the recall or something you have to remember or something you have to memorize and then wait an hour.
While simulating all of the major symptoms of menopause.
Yes.
Okay.
So you're in the dark. It's 3 a.m. You're hot. you have to have something read to you and then give it an hour. And then you have to remember word for word what was remembered. That would be a very amazing race challenge.
I mean, I think you'd be a great producer. I think, and honestly, like they've done 40 seasons just about at this point. They're looking for new stuff.
Amazing Race perimenopause edition.
Yeah.
Sleepless, confused, irritable.
Mine, you get to a college dorm. It's move-in day.
Yes.
You've got 800 boxes that you have to fit into a room.
Yes.
And it's not just a room, into a half a room. And the first one to get it done gets to move on. I was in this personal hell 1 year ago and I lost the challenge. I would have been eliminated and asked to like leave the mat. And I was trying, but there's so many people now, what they do is they show up and they assemble furniture.
Yeah.
On that day.
Yeah.
A lot of furniture. There was a lot of furniture that I had to assemble. That would cause all the things that you want to and cause panic, anxiety, like step issues. And of course, like you're going to show up with too much stuff and you got to throw half of it away.
That is the most perfect Amazing Race challenge. It would challenge literally every personality, man, woman, child. It would be hard for everybody. And it's going to be good TV because everybody's going to be crying. Everybody's going to cry. Yeah. It's so emotional.
And then at the end of the challenge, your child leaves you forever. So that doesn't help either.
At the end of the child, we're going to stomp on your heart.
Yeah. That was the hardest thing I've done in my entire life.
That was the hardest thing
was so hard.
ever. I would bungee jump 1,000 times before I did that again.
I would bungee jump and it doesn't even matter if it works.
You would bungee jump without the bungee?
Yeah, I'd just jump off the cliff before I had to do that again. And it's coming up in a couple of weeks. So.
Well, now we've learned.
Yes, we have.
Lola has already said, we're not bringing that much stuff.
It wasn't just Lola's fault. There were others who purchased a lot of stuff. I'm just going to defend her here.
It was me.
Yeah.
Okay. That was such a fun podcast.
Yeah. It's always fun when you guys are involved.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that? When you guys, when I'm talking to you, talking to the camera, talking to our callers, our listeners, and really we feel like our friends.
Yes, our laugh liners. I feel like if you want to just give us your phone number, we might call you randomly.
Laugh Lines is written and produced by Kim Holderness, Penn Holderness, and Anne-Marie Tapke with original music by Penn Holderness. It was filmed, edited, and live produced by Sam Allen and hosted by Acast. As always, we love to hear from you. Please write to us at podcast@theholdernessfamily.com or, and we used it a lot today, leave us a voicemail at
323-364-3929.
And we will talk to you soon on Laugh Lines.
Love you. Bye.